Hey guys, recently a lot of people have been asking me to see the cars and get into the whole world of, oh, well, this is success and that's success and you must be so successful and these cars and those cars. So I figured I would give you a little tour of some of them. So now I'm going to give you a real tour. Let me give you a tour raw in my dirty, nasty clothes from building a home theater, from not giving a damn about much. I'm not going to give you a tour on the cars. Why? Because who cares? I like cars. That's why I buy them. I don't buy them for success. I don't buy them for flaunting. I don't buy them for inspiring. I don't buy them for any other reason than I like cars. For the same reason, you guys should never, ever, ever go out and try to be successful so you can buy a damn car. You should never go out and try to be successful so you can be better than your neighbor. You should never go out and try and be successful for any other stupid reason that is driven by hatred, it's driven by revenge, it's driven by anything other than your own personal accomplishment, your own personal belief. Why does it matter what anybody else thinks? You know, it's funny, as a car enthusiast, I'm constantly having people say, oh, nice car, that's awesome. Kids love to come in it. They love to sit in them. They love to, start them and listening to them. You know, on the flip side of it, you get all the bitter, angry people that I guess know deep down in their heart and soul that they've given up on their life. And you know, you see them and they look at the car, and for like 2 seconds, if you really look, you can see their eyes light up like a little kid again, like mine used to be. And then they're almost just completely taken over by hatred, by anger, by jealousy, by rage, by whatever you want to call it. Like they've just given up on their life. Someone controls them other than their own thoughts, their own actions, their own belief. And it's almost like they just shake their head in disappointment. Now all of a sudden I become an asshole. All of a sudden I'm the guy that, you know, maybe my daddy gave it to me and maybe this, I don't even have a fucking dad. My dad bailed on me, okay? Get over it. Fine, I get that. Everybody has this like poor pity story, and every single person has been through their own challenges and their own heartache and their own battles, and they fight their own demons on a day-to-day basis. And God forbid someone becomes successful, and we have to, as a society, shit all over them because they drive a nice car, because they make more money than you, because they live in a house that your kids tell you later when you come to visit that they want you to go buy that house. I get that. I get it. Trust me, I get that. I'm not really doing anything here other than trying to kind of put some form of thought into your guys' minds. Life is interesting. It's interesting because every single day you are given a choice to do or not do. You're given the options, the tools for success every single day. You know what's funny is there's so many people that are writing all these books and they're selling you these coaching programs and they're, you know, fine, I get it, whatever. I've never read a book in my life. Okay, some of you know that, some of you don't. I'm a pretty stupid person. A lot of you know that. You don't need to be smart to be successful. You don't need to go to college and have a master's degree to be successful. I'm not knocking on higher education. I think education is super important, but I also believe that there's something called street education. You know, a lot of people, the school of hard knocks, I get it. You know, you want to be fun, you want to be goofy, but chances are none of you guys have actually done shit to amount to actually having a hard knock life. You know, so many people are looking to fit in the world. They're looking to ride side by side with someone. They jump from friend group to try and be accepted. It's overwhelming to me how much of a robotic society we have become. And if you hang around people that are constantly doing the same thing, by default, you're going to pick it up and you're going to start doing what they're doing. My challenge to you, go find a millionaire and be friends with them. Seriously. Doesn't matter if you want to even be a millionaire. Just go find a millionaire because they think differently. They act differently. Typically, they talk differently. They spend money, obviously, differently. But you will learn things about these people that are so far backwards from what you probably originally thought. And that's the biggest problem, is we originally think, we cast judgment. We stereotype. You know, you look at, I just try to stay away from everything that's happening in the world. It's so sad, it's so sickening. Everybody has their own opinion about everything, and that's fine, and I get that. But the problem is people are building up with each other. They're fueling each other's hatred. They're fueling each other's rage. If we could fuel each other's motivation, if we could find a way to fuel each other's passion, our drive, our inspiration, if we could go and do amazing things for other people, think of how different this world would be. Think about all the people like me who love cars that just want to buy one. You can't buy a car like the ones you just saw. You cannot do that if you don't have money. You can't. Here's the other thing. I had a conversation actually with my mother who, you know, she kind of got the shit end of the stick my first probably 25 years of life because I was figuring it out. I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that is you try to figure out life through experiences. Here's the thing. Most people are going to give up. Most people will just say, I can't, I won't, I don't deserve it, this is too much, that's too hard. I'd rather be playing, I'd rather be having fun, I'd rather be going on a date. That's fine. You know, there's people who give excuses, and there's pretty much everybody else, which is about 1% of the world, that is out not making excuses. And when they find an excuse, they find a way to get past it. But as I talked to my mom when I bought this this most recent car, as a child, obviously, I guess you seek a form of acceptance from your parents, or approval. And I was sitting there thinking of how I was going to tell my mom I bought another $250,000 car. There's not an easy way to do that, in all honesty, and especially when you already have 4. So, hey, Mom, I bought a 5th car doesn't really just kind of jump to the top of the conversation list. And as I sat and racked my brain, how I was going to tell my mom this, I realized something. I don't need my mom's approval. I would love it. I get it because my mother is amazing and she doesn't judge me and she understands that I'm living a life that makes me happy. But I asked her, I said, do you think it's addiction? And she was really quick to respond, actually. You know, she's like, you're not addicted to something unless you're willing to put it over everything else. If you cannot pay your bills, if you cannot sustain quality of life, if you don't have a roof over your head, if you don't have money for groceries, if you can't do the things that you want, the necessities in life, and you're still spending money on whatever it would be, you know, for me in this case, obviously cars, but that becomes an addiction. And I started thinking back to when I started working hard to be able to earn this stuff. That was an addiction. That became my priority. And I think that if every one of you guys listening, at some point, you probably had a thought or an idea or an invention or some kind of inner drive that fueled you to do something in life. And you were super excited about it. My guess is you probably either acted on it or you almost acted on it until somebody gave you their opinion. And for some reason you allowed that opinion to matter more than your own belief, than what you knew in your heart was right, that what you knew in your soul would work. I put my life on hold in every aspect to build a future that I knew I wanted, that I knew I deserved, based exclusively on one major factor. It was my daughter. I didn't even know she was going to be a boy or a girl at the time. I knew I was going to be a daddy, and I knew I wasn't ready for it. And the thing that kind of blows my mind is when you find out news like that, it really shakes you at your core. I think you find out who you are almost immediately. And I knew that what I was at that moment was lazy and procrastinator. I was unambitious. I slept in every day. I wasn't going anywhere, and I was okay with it. I was totally okay with it. I was robotic. Society didn't deem me anything. I just existed, which is fine. Right up until you realize that you don't want your daughter or child to be on an equal level as that. You don't want your child to just be eh. I think any parent in the world will agree we want everything for our children. We want them to have a better life than we had. We want them to be able to do things that we couldn't do, to maybe buy things that we couldn't afford. You know, it's not money, and I don't know why it gets so misconstrued that money buys happiness, because it doesn't. I can factually tell you all right now, I can come out and I can sit and I can look at all these cars all day long, fine, cool. Doesn't do anything. If you don't absolutely love and appreciate the things that you're putting money into, what the hell are you putting money into them anyway for? So I can go, whatever you think, I knock on my neighbor's door and say, come check out my cars, I'm cooler than you are. That is the dumbest shit. And people do that. People do that. It's just sad to me. And so the tour, I guess, coming back full circle, that I wanted to do was, I wanted to give you a tour of what it takes to be successful in whatever aspect you want to look at success as being. A lot of people constantly tell me that you're scared of fear. You're afraid that you're going to fail. I'm going to call bullshit. I think it's really easy for us to fail. I know this because I was a failure for a long time. I was a loser for a long time. And it's very easy for us to hit rock bottom, as they would say, to fall to the bottom of the barrel. Most of you guys listening to this have been there. We're comfortable being there. You know that if you can look up, you can get up, right? I mean, if you get to the bottom of the barrel, you're like, cool, I've done that. This sucks. It's going to be rough for a little bit. I can eat some ramen noodles. We'll figure it out. I'm on a couch, whatever sob story that everybody has. You know, again, we all have them. However, people get to the top of that barrel and they look out and they see new life. They see new possibility. They see new opportunity. They see freedom. They see beauty all around them. But every bit of that is new. They're not used to success. They're not used to opportunity. They're not used to freedom. They're not used to money. They're not used to these types of things. And so they cower back down. They stay surrounded by comfort. They wallow in this barrel until their muscles become so weak that they literally lose their grip and fall back to the bottom where they're comfortable. And this is an ongoing and vicious and never-ending ugly, ugly cycle. The only way that you are ever going to make any form of significant change in your life is by changing the way that you view your life and then applying action to those thoughts. If you don't have a motive for change, it's never going to happen. You know, I looked at man, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be this. All of a sudden I was 25 and I was like, ooh, well, maybe I should do a 30-year plan. So by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. That didn't really work. Man, maybe I'll do it next year. Or New Year's is coming around. Maybe I'll use my New Year's resolution to be some big significant change. Or maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that. And you know what's funny? It never works. It never works because I never changed. I never had a reason to change. I never hung out with different people, so I always had the same opinions barking in my ear. I never hung out with successful people, first of all, so I didn't even know what that looked like, to know that I even wanted it. I just stayed comfortable. I just stayed existing. But when that change comes, when you start to experience it, it gets exciting. It's like going out with someone for the first time, a new date or whatever it is, whatever gets you guys excited. It's almost like it's like butterflies and goosebumps and all that fun stuff because it's new, it's exhilarating, it's exciting, it's passion. This is how you have to be constantly, and you can't let negativity, you can't let others bring you down. Others aren't going to pay your bills, I promise. Not even a little bit. Go ask your buddy to pay your bill. Next person that gives you a negative opinion, ask them to pay your cell phone bill on the spot, and I'll bet they don't. But for some reason, you care about their opinion. I made it in my life by doing something, in a direct sales company, and a lot of people frown on that. A lot of people think that it's a scam. A lot of people think that stuff like that is stupid. A lot of people don't have these cars. They don't live in this house. They don't have the bank account that I have. They don't have the freedom that I have. They sure as hell have the opinion that I had prior to making a change. That I can relate to. That I can respect. What I can't respect, what I refuse to respect, are people that have opinions, but they are not willing to prove themselves wrong. They are not willing to swallow the pride. They're not willing to listen to their own inner child. I swear to God, there's probably 15 people that will somehow see this message, and instead of a Lamborghini they want a saxophone. Maybe that is the dream. Maybe there's some inner story there of a little child that was in an abusive relationship with their parents, and as they were left alone all the time, I don't know, and they would sit in a closet because the guy next door had a saxophone, and for some reason there's just that inner drive. But when they got old enough and they wanted to talk about a saxophone, all their friends thought it was stupid, and why would you ever want to do that? That's dumb, and it's childish, or it's and negativity flows in, and all of a sudden that's not cool anymore. All of a sudden your childhood hopes and dreams and we're ugly people. We're ugly people. We have no right whatsoever to talk bad or negative on somebody else's dreams. I don't care what it is. If you're listening to this, go buy the damn saxophone. Go play it till your heart knows how to play it, until your soul feels alive again. Do what you need to do to be successful in this world on whatever level you feel that success needs to be earned. But I can tell you right now, success, factually, is a journey. Success is something you're going to learn every single day. Success is something that you're going to experience heartache, you're going to experience failure, you're going to experience a lot of lessons. And you're either going to learn from those lessons or you're going to quit. And as you experience and gain knowledge and wisdom and experience, you will grow. Just like a plant or a tree. Every master, every professional athlete, every top of their game person at one point started the exact same way that we all started. They learned to walk in whatever time frame. They learned to eat. They learned to talk. They learned to play. They learned to work. Some are taught to work hard. Some are taught appreciation. Some are taught value. Some are taught respect. Some are taught loyalty. Some are taught ignorance. Some are taught cheating. Some are taught lying. Some are taught figure it out. The thing that's cool about us in life as humans is we have the ability to teach and we have the ability to learn. I've learned a lot in my life, especially in the last 3 years. I've given up a lot in my life to learn that. And because of that, I want to teach. I don't care if people think I'm stupid. I don't care if people think I'm ugly. I don't care if people think I'm trashy. I don't care if people think that I'm an asshole. I don't care if people think I'm some rich, pompous whatever. I get threats all the time from people. I want to know that if I die tomorrow, I've changed one person's life. Because of me, one person had the balls to climb out of the barrel and experience that beautiful life. The life that I built for my daughter is unfathomable. It is, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch her grow and be able to do the things that I worked really hard for her to be able to enjoy. And I want every single person in the world to believe in themselves and know that that is possible for you and your family. We all have different dreams. To some, it's not exotic cars. To some, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your dreams are. It doesn't matter what people think about them, more importantly. What matters is what you think. And what matters is how much you believe in it. And what matters is how much you deserve it. When you look at life, when you start, look at walking. You know, you stand up, you fall down. I can't even count the times my daughter stood up and fell down. You know, you look at riding a bike. You get on it, it's terrifying. You start moving, you're excited, you're alive, and then you go, I don't know how to stop this thing. And usually you crash. Welcome to life. It never changes. You never stop riding bicycles. What you do is you find a way to go get on a bigger one. And you know typically a bigger bike is going to lead to a faster experience, a more exciting experience, and a bigger crash. And eventually you learn how to not crash. But if you switch from bikes to boats, now you're in a whole different world and you have to relearn things. You cannot switch every time it gets hard. You cannot give up and make a different shift completely into something else because it got hard. You have to learn why you fell down and learn how to not fall down. Stay in the same area because you're passionate about that. Don't give up on riding a bike because you can swim better, because it's easier, because all your friends are swimming, not riding bikes. And when you get on this journey, you have to make time for success. If you don't make time to be successful, you will never achieve it. That is fact. If you try and tell me that you do not have time, I just, you know, there's a million things I can say right now, but let's just say I promise you have time. I didn't have time when I was lazy because I slept until 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's amazing when you wake up at 7 a.m. how you magically gain 5 to 7 hours of your day. And all of a sudden you have time. And it's amazing how if you turn off your television, stop watching stuff that will not better your life. Reality TV, yeah, cool, I get it, whatever. Unless you plan on somehow figuring out a way to make money by watching TV, to build your education, to build your future, to build your children's future by watching TV. Why are you watching TV? Because it's easy? Because you're tired? Because you're worn down? Because you need some form of peace? Because you need some form of entertainment? Okay. Do you want to be successful? Or do you want to watch TV and then die? You know, there's people that inside they have everything it takes. Those people are watching this video right now. Those people are you. Right now, if you've actually taken the time to watch this video and you've eliminated the distractions, you're not scrolling through it, you're actually paying attention, you're starting to realize that this is not going to be easy, you're starting to realize that you do deserve something, congratulations. Here's where you're going to fail. If you allow yourself to walk outside of the room, if you allow yourself to turn the television back on, if you allow yourself to continue giving the same excuses you gave 15 minutes ago, if you allow yourself to listen to the same people that gave you their opinion yesterday, if you allow yourself to be limited in any way, then your failure is solely depending on you. You are 100% responsible for your own failures or your own action, your own success, your own drive, your own consequences, your own rewards. Life is a series of choices. And I can promise you right now, try is not a choice. Try is it's a lazy man's word. Try is an excuse word. Try is a word that is given to justify an excuse of why you could not. There's no trying in the world. I'm not trying to pick up this paper. I'm not trying to pick up this marker. I'm not trying to talk to you. I just did that. Okay? I can either do that or I can stare blankly into this phone or this whatever, and we could all just have an awkward moment. You either do something in your life or you do not do something in this life. You either run a red light when it's turning yellow or you don't. There's risk involved in all the decisions that we make in life. That's just an example. To a stupid example, you can't find the right socks. They don't match. So you wear a black one and a white one. And guess what? Even that comes with risk, because God forbid you go to the office and some dickhead somewhere feels the need to bully you because you're wearing mismatched socks, and for some reason you allow that to bother you because you've had so much built up. And it drives you to do some form of stupid decision. We are so robotic in nature by caring what other people think, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop. So anyway, there's your tour on 2 seconds or 27 minutes and 12 seconds anyway of success. Success is not cars. It's not a home. Success is feeling that on your deathbed, there's not a day you would take back. There's not a day that you wish you would have, that you wish you could have. There's no regrets. Everything you could have done in the very short time that we have on this earth, you made the most of that time. You were absolutely the most deserving of that time. You changed your quality of life. You changed others' qualities of life. And you built a better future for the next generation. Because I'll tell you what, if we keep going the way we're going with the current generations and the entitlement and the empowerment and everybody thinking they don't need to work, holy shit. It's going to get ugly, guys. It's time that we all need to step up and realize what we're worth. And then be willing to apply that action. We need to be doers, and we need to make it happen. And if you do that, I promise you success. That's all.